Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to walk you through a project that I've been working on called Pywce, the Python WhatsApp chatbot engine. So this is a WhatsApp library, another WhatsApp library, but like any other WhatsApp libraries out there, this is a twist to it. This is a chatbot engine so that it enables you to create a WhatsApp chatbot, a complete WhatsApp chatbot. It's different from other WhatsApp libraries out there that only enables you to send, send a message, send a flow, send a template only. This takes a step further into giving you a framework that you can create a WhatsApp chatbot. So this demonstration I'm going to show you is an e-hailing WhatsApp chatbot, just like Uber or Via or Windy or InDrive, whatever e-hailing chatbot that you might, e-hailing platform that you might know that uses mobile application. So this try to take advantage of what WhatsApp offers. So this is a proof of concept, a chatbot that I've just did with this to demonstrate how the Pywce works. So the Pywce is quite a number of components, just a few components that you need to know. This is a template-driven chatbot library. What that means is that your conversation flow, they are predictable, they are logical. You know where to move from point A to point B. You can know at any given point at which stage your user is with your chatbot. So by default, the framework supports, the engine supports YAML or JSON. But don't worry, you are not limited to this two. If you want to make your chatbot to be driven from a database source, you implement a storage manager. There's an interface in the library that you can implement so that you use any template, a source that you want, maybe it database, be it server side, whatever. So we take a look at that later. So here it uses YAML. So all these messages that the bot is using to respond to the user, they are YAML defined conversation flows. So what you need to know when you're using this library is that there are two main components: the conversation flow, which is the YAML, the template driven, and the business logic, which is your Python code, where your business logic sits. So how now does the engine know that I'm going to, how now do you connect your business logic? So the engine makes use of hooks. So you've been using a React or something like some of these frameworks out there. The hooks enables it. These are nothing more than Python functions where you define your business logic. So on each and every template, there are what we call hooks there. For example, when the user responds to a chatbot message, we can define what you call an on receive hook, so that on receiving a response from the user, you want the engine to process your logic. So that's how the hooks works. So that's one. Those are two main components that you're going to deal with when you're creating your chatbot using this framework. Is the hooks and the conversation flow. So that's more like everything that you need to know when you're creating a chatbot. So you can scaffold a very basic or a very complex chatbot just using your conversation flow. You map, know where you want to go. If you have any custom logic that you want to process, you just a hook some business logic into it. So the template supports quite a number of hooks. We have on receive, we have template hook for you to dynamically create a message, because you cannot only write static messages in your on your templates. You can also create dynamically, like you want to prefill username, you want to prefill user order. There's a hook for that. So we'll take a look at that as we go on. So from here, let's dive into how all this logic is connected. So I'm going to assume that all the work of creating WhatsApp account and how to get access token, I will link a video in the description below. From here on, we just assume that you have all the details like access token, phone number, ID, and you just go straight into it. So don't worry, all the other details will show in the next video. So to begin with, we are going to, first of all, we are going to clone the repository. And then when you clone repository, you open it with your favorite IDE. I'm using Pywce here. Then you go to the example folder. So I'm just going to the example folder, and then I'm going to start the project using Fast API. So as usual, like I said, you need the access token, the phone number ID, the app secret, the webhook hub token, which is the verified token. And then we also need the template source. So for this example, some of the information like the template directory and the start stage has been already put for you. What you need to change is the access token to put your test token if you're in test, your phone number ID, and the app secret, you can put it in the webhook hub token. You also have to put it so that from here on we just do the usual. I'm on local, so I'll use the ngrok to turn on my running service. So here we're connecting with ngrok. We'll get our temporary forwarded HTTPS URL so that we'll put on the Meta developer API console. So here we go on WhatsApp, you go on configuration, and then we put our Quebec URL there. And our endpoint is chatbot webhook. You can take a look at it in the routes folder, in the routes file. So that's our very simple verified token. You can change it to anything. So you just say verified token. If you see it loading like this, then that means good luck. Congratulations, everything works. You can look into the NGO console. You see a log there that shows that we win. So after that is done, then that's it. We are access token now only focus on our chatbot. So how is this been implemented? Like I said before, that's a template driven. This is initial YAML. So the folder you can name, you can put the files, you can structure them, whatever that is easier for you. You want to use folders, you just want to use files, you want to use a single file with all the templates, that's up to you. So here I just code mine init.yaml. The names doesn't matter. All it cares about is that they are YAML or JSON files in that directory. So that my template directory that you have all the templates that we have been seeing that have been showcasing on the user side on WhatsApp. So here I have it and the triggers. The triggers basically these are conversation starters, or you can consider them as shortcuts. So that when you say start, remember many chatbots always say maybe type hi, type start, type help, type report for you to see this, something like this. So these triggers they're nothing more than Python regex, so that the engine knows what to display when it is triggered, when it has been triggered by a certain word. So from here we can see that we created button, we've mapped it. So all these templates they map to WhatsApp messages. If you've taken a look at WhatsApp messaging, you'll know that WhatsApp you have a lot of message types that it supports. You can send an address, you can send a text, you can send a button, you can send a flow. The flows are also supported by the engine out of the box. Also, it also supports flow endpoint. We take a look at that in another video. It supports template, support images, support downloading images, and other utility method. They're all supported out of the box. So all these message tabs, you can consider message tabs is a message template. So here we have button, we have call to action, template. So these they are being determined by the kind CTA call to action. That's the template and correspond to the WhatsApp call to action messages. So here, this is the e-hailing chatbot that you've been seeing from our demo. So you see that everything here, all this YAML, the chatbot knows where to go from point A to point B. Now, someone might be wondering, what if the user doesn't reply to what they're being asked? For example, if you're shown a button, how does the engine knows? The engine knows that whatever that you have put is not the one that is expected on the routes. So it will show you a default message like, could not process your request. Please follow the required format, something like that. We'll take a look at that later as we showcase some more features of the engine. So here, as you can see, when you say hi, the message that has been rendered on the user is this message that you see on start menu. So as you can see, that name there, that template there is the Python function that has dynamically populated that name. So that means you can preview dynamic information into the template by means of a template hook, because it processes the template, so it's self-explanatory. So as it is, the name it uses the mustache, just like ginger templates, so that it's familiar to people that have been using ginger or the mustache placeholders. So that's how it is. So from here, the code to action GitHub has been displayed, and also now we want to showcase the e-hailing bot that we have showcased at the beginning of the video. So as you can see here, it goes from we show the user the begin, and we have mapped it on the routes. The routes it maps the user input to the next stage. So here it's static, but there are a lot of ways where you can dynamically know where to go. You can actually use a regex there. Okay, we'll see as we go on other templates. You can actually use a regex so that you don't necessarily need to hook a hook which validates. You can simply just put a regex that you want. For example, imagine you're expecting the user to enter their age. So you can actually put a regex that will only go to the next stage when it knows that the user enters a number. So when it is not a number, it will show a default message to say, the input that you've entered is incorrect. Please follow the correct input, something like that. So you can see all these different message types that the engine is rendering. They're all based on what you've defined in your template storage. So as we can see, we have button, we have request location, we have list, we have text, we have so many. So long it is a supported WhatsApp message, the engine will be able to render that. So we'll take a look at all the different template types that are there, and all the different fields on each and every template, what they represent, and which ones are optional, which ones are required. We'll take a look at that later in other videos to come. So here I just hard coded some of these values, but remember you can put a hook that can dynamically create all this. Like for example, you can put a dynamic template which will dynamically create that message so that either the hook will return a pattern, a text, a flow, a list, whatever you name it. So the engine will also support that. So we've also have other shortcuts that you have seen here. If you say write p.write type, it means you're taking from user props. Props are nothing more like a bitrate data, just like what you've been doing in other web frameworks where you're passing props to the other web page. So that's how it works here. So the user input, you can quickly save it in a user prop so that both the engine use session behind the scene. And don't worry, session also, there's also another interface for session. You can actually implement your own. By default, it uses a dictionary based session manager. But you can also override that one and use yours. So this is all